So after I began to think about all of these challenges, the absenteeism, the decreased time that the new master schedule allowed in terms of contact time with students, and the lack of preparation, I began to imagine a perfect world where students actually showed up to lessons and they had done some preparatory reading and were prepared to engage in deeper and more meaningful conversations. So the tool that I decided to use to see if I could solve my problem is a web-based interactive video and formative assessment tool called EdPuzzle. Okay, grade 9, we're going to look at the first of our case studies. Just as a reminder, our statement of inquiry has to do with the health of communities requiring effective governance. So we're looking essentially at public health and then its relationship to the INS concept of governance. In this first video, you're going to look at the disease cholera, and I've embedded some short answer questions that are going to help you sort of gain an understanding of the content that you'll need. But I also want you to consider this product as a whole, because your summative assessment task for this unit is for you to create your own public service announcement. And that public service announcement should look something like this video that was created in order to raise awareness about the causes, the spread, and the ways to prevent cholera. Enjoy. Okay, so we looked at the EdPuzzle about the disease polio, and when we look at the sort of the key concepts from INS that might apply, can anybody tell me what one of those might be?
Governance.
Governance, good. What else?
Scientific and technical innovation.
Yeah, scientific and technical innovation. I like that. Anything else?
The vaccines, they weren't invented at the time of the outbreak, so they're invented afterwards, that now we can prevent it easily.
Good, yes, and so that would be another scientific and technical innovation, is the actual vaccine that now prevents most people in the world from getting polio in the first place. So now, having had a chance to reflect on the implementation of the solution, I think there are a couple things that stick out in my mind. I had originally intended this to be sort of a standalone solution for students not being prepared, and sort of I think my idea was that they would watch the video, they would learn some sort of key and basic information, and then that would allow them to come to class and be better prepared. And I think to some extent that was successful. But in my SWOT analysis, one of the things I looked at was absenteeism and students not being responsible and being prepared. And I will say that flipped learning certainly did not solve that problem. I still had students who showed up to class who had not watched the EdPuzzle video before the lesson, and so then they were forced to watch that in class, which was sort of the reason I tried to implement this in the first place. And so I think that's not something that's going to have a perfect solution. The other thing I think I found is that for students who are sort of higher ability, this is something that they enjoyed, and it allowed them to extend their learning. But for those students who are struggling, who might be language learners or might have special learning needs, I don't know that this particular solution was as helpful for them because it didn't involve any face-to-face interaction. I wasn't able to sort of clarify in real time and to help them understand the content that they were engaging with. As much as I might have tried to to choose videos that were at varying ability levels, ultimately I think this is a good tool to have in the tool bag, and it's something that can be helpful in addition to, say, some differentiated readings and some other things like that. But I think my idea at first was that this would be a standalone solution. I could just create some video lessons and they would do my front loading for me. And I think that this did not quite work out that way. So certainly it's a tool that I will continue to use, but it will be one of a number of tools, and it will not be the only way that I try to have students engage and be prepared for lessons before they show up.